The most powerful thing Coca-Cola ever sold wasn't a drink. It was a feeling you couldn't name. And that unnamed feeling built one of the most valuable companies in human history. Here's what most people never think about. Walk into any store right now. Two products sitting side by side. Same price, same ingredients, same quality. You tell yourself you're going to make a rational decision. You won't. Before logic even activates, your brain has already run a faster calculation. It scanned both options and asked one question: which one have I seen before? Psychologists have studied this pattern for decades. They call it the mere exposure effect. The more frequently your brain encounters something, the more favorably it evaluates it. Not because repeated exposure proves quality, because your nervous system interprets familiarity as safety. Novelty registers as a low-level threat. Something unfamiliar requires evaluation. Evaluation requires energy. Energy is expensive, so the brain shortcuts the process. It reaches for what it already knows, in labels that reach as preference. Coca-Cola understood this before most businesses understood marketing. They didn't compete on taste. They competed on presence. Gas stations, diners, movie theaters, baseball stadiums, holiday campaigns, school cafeterias, roadside billboards stretching across entire states. They placed themselves inside every ordinary moment of American life, not to be impressive, not to be luxurious, to be expected. Because expected means familiar. Familiar means safe. Safe means chosen, without hesitation, without conversation, without a second thought. Most businesses spend their entire existence trying to be better than the competition. Better product, better price, better packaging. Coca-Cola took a different path. They focused on being unavoidable, because unavoidable compounds. Every impression builds on the last. Every exposure deepens the neural pathway. Every moment of recognition strengthens the reflex. And once that reflex is strong enough, competition becomes irrelevant. Not because people have evaluated the alternatives and rejected them, because the alternative never even enters consideration. That's what omnipresence actually buys you. It doesn't win the comparison. It eliminates it. The most valuable position in any market isn't being the best option. It's being the only option the brain bothers retrieving. Coca-Cola didn't advertise their way to dominance. They repeated their way to default. And defaults don't get chosen. They get executed automatically. That is the difference between a brand and an institution. Institutions don't ask for your trust. They've already been placed inside it. Subscribe and turn on notifications for daily wealth psychology, because the next Coca-Cola story reveals how one Christmas campaign quietly rewired the cultural memory of an entire planet.